So today we're going to see more radical equations and applications. So the first one is solutions, how to solve radical equations. So the steps are given in the handout. You have to first isolate the radical. And if your equation has more than one radical, choose one of the radicals to isolate. Step number 2, raise each side of the equation to a power equal to the index of the radical. And solve the resulting equation. If the equation still has a radical, we have to repeat steps 1 and 2. And then we have to finally check the potential solutions in the original equations. So I'm going to start with number 1. So solving radical equations. So it's going to be more equations and applications. So number 1, solve the equation. We have square root of 3q minus 2 equal to 2. So we have to get rid of this radical. If you look at the equation, the radical by itself, so we have to get rid of the radical. So basically this is square root. So we have to square both sides. So get rid of the square root. So square both sides. So when you square and square root cancels out. So we have 3q minus 2 equal to 4. Then add 2 both sides. 3q equal to 6. So divide by 3. So we get q equals to 2. So finally we always have to check when you are solving radical equations. So we're going to plug in 2 for q in the original equation. And we are going to see if they are equal. So it's going to be square root of 6 minus 2. Is this equal to 2? Yes, because square root of 4 is 2. So it checks. So the solution is q equal to 2. Number 2, we have x minus 5 equals square root of 4x minus 15. Again, we have to square both sides. So basically square and square root gets cancelled. So we get just 4x minus 15. However, x minus 5 square means x minus 5 times x minus 5. So we're going to FOIL first. So we get x squared minus 5x minus 5x plus 25 equal to 4x minus 15. So combine the like terms. So you get x squared minus 10x plus 25 equal to 4x minus 15. So first we have to move all the terms to one side so we can factor and solve the equations. When we minus 4x plus 15. So we get 0 on one side. So here we get x squared minus 14x plus 40 equal to 0. So when we factor, we get x minus 10 times x minus 4 equal to 0. So we get x minus 10 is 0 or x minus 4 equal to 0. So add 10 both sides. So we get x equals to 10. So this is 10. And add 4 here. So we get x equals 4. However, we have to check our solution to see which one works. Sometimes both work, sometimes one are going to work. So let's put 10. So it's going to be so 4 times 10 minus 15. So 10 minus 5, this is 10. So it's going to be 5. Is this equals 40 minus 15? Yes, we get square root of 25 equal to 5. So this one checks. And then next one, we are going to put 4 minus 5 equals. So it's going to be 4, 4. So it's 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Is this equal to 16 minus 5, which is positive 1? So negative 1 cannot be equal to 1. So the only solution is x equals to 10. So this is called a false solution. So x equal to 10 is the only solution. And number 3, we have cubic equation here. So cube root, sorry, it's not cubic, it's a cube root. So first we have to check here the the radical is not by itself. So we have to first isolate the radical. We can do that by dividing both sides by 2. So we're trying to get rid of this 2. So we get cube root of 4x minus 5 equals 8 over 2 is 4. Now we can get rid of the cube root by cubing both sides. So we have 4x minus 5 equals 4 to the power 3 and 3. So we get just 4x minus 5. 4 cubed is 64. So add 5 both sides. So we get 4x equals 69. So we're getting a fraction. So divide both sides by 4. So we get x equals 69 over 4. Now we are going to check the solution if this is the right answer. So we are going to plug in this number for x and see if we are getting. So 2 times, here we're going to put 69 over 4. So it's going to be cube root of, so 4 gets cancelled out. So I have 69 minus 5. Is this equal to 8? So it's 2 times cube root of 64 is 4. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So this is correct. So the answer, the solution is 69 over 4. And number 4, we have x to the 2/3 equal to 4. So let's first get rid of the cube by cubing both sides. So what we are going to do is first get rid of the 3 in the denominator. So we have x to the power 6 over, so 3 cancels out. So we have x squared equals 64. So x is going to be plus or minus square root of 64. So x equals plus or minus 8. So check. So it's 8 to the power 2/3, is this equal to 4? 64, cube root of 64 is 4. So that is correct. Next, negative 8 to the power 2/3 is going to be 4, as it's going to be again negative 8 squared is going to be 64. Cube root of 64 is 4. So it checks. And number 5, we have x plus 1 to the power 1/5 equal to 3. Since 1/5, we have to raise the power to 5. 1/5, which is the reciprocal of 1/5 is 5. So that's what we basically need to. We have to raise the power to the reciprocal of the powers, which is going to be just x plus 1. And 3 to the power 5th is, sorry, this is negative 3. So it's a negative 243. So subtract 1. So we get x equals negative 244. However, whenever you have the power as an odd number here, we don't have to check our answer. Only for the even power, we might get false solutions. And you can look at the handout for the word problem. So the word problem, there are 6 and 7 are word problems. The first one is Gabriel dropped his phone from the edge of a cliff. He heard it strike a rock and break to smithereens at the bottom of the cliff 3 seconds after he dropped the phone. And he knows that the time in seconds for a falling object D is given by the formula T equals D over 16. So we have to find the D, height of the cliff. And it's the T's time is given as 3 seconds. So it's going to be, I'm plugging in 3 for T, and you have to find the D. So 9 equals square root of D over 16. Okay, let me redo this. Redo this. So this is the original problem. I plugged in 3 for T. Now we have to square both sides. So it's going to be so when you square, we get 9 equals D over 16. So we can put the cross multiplication. So D equals 16 times 9, which is 144 feet. So the distance is 144 feet. And number 7, the velocity of a free falling object is given by the equation V equals square root of 2gh, where is the measured in, V is measured in feet per second and G is 32 feet per second square. And h is the height. If an object strikes the ground velocity, which is V, is given by 100 feet per second, estimate the height. That means we have to find the height h. So let's plug in all the values here. V is 100 and G is 32, and we are still have to find the h. So it's 2 times square root of, so it's going to be 100 equals square root of 34h. So we have to find the height h. So to get the h by itself, we have to square both sides. So it's going to be so we get And 10,000 equals 64h. So divide by 64. So we get h equals 10,000 over 64, which is going to be 156.25 feet. So that's the end.